Red leather. Yellow leather. Okay. Any bookies? No. So who are we?
We are Corey and Lori.
And what are we doing here?
We are going to attempt to share information, learn, and maybe even inspire a little bit through the adventures that we will now be documenting because we love backpacking.
We love backpacking. That's the whole idea of this. Couples backpacking together.
Older couples.
Older couples. Late 30s.
No one's gonna buy that.
Early 40s. Okay. So that's what our objective is. So how did we get started? How and when?
I would say we've always loved like national parks and stuff like that, being outside the beach. But in 2016, we had a little chunk of time on our hands with no real commitments. So you brought up the idea of doing an overnight backpacking trip. We had planned on doing some of the national parks, Tetons, Glacier, Yellowstone.
Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, but your idea was to do an overnight pack, and I had a lot of reservations, but you convinced me to do it because you said that we could get all of our gear and it would serve as a disaster preparedness kit. And of course, my fear of natural disasters, you preyed upon that, and that got me to do it. So once we got all the initial stuff, made the investment, you wanted to do the overnight backpack trip.
So there's a hot tip, fellas. If you want to try and figure out how to get the gear, how to get your wife on board, tell her disaster preparedness.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked. So you wanted to do Surprise Lake
Yep.
in the Tetons, and you showed me pictures, and it was beautiful, and kept convincing me how it wasn't very far. It was not a long hike. You gave me the elevation, but you did not discuss with me what that would mean.
Not full disclosure.
No, I went into that
Another hot tip.
a little bit blind. So anyway, we did that one.
That was kind of the start, huh?
That was the start. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the start.
Very good. So what were your concerns?
For me, the physical ability, having the strength, because I don't like holding people up, so that was a big one for me. The time involved, didn't really know, based on where we lived at the time, if it was really going to make sense, if we were going to be able to get where we wanted to go to do the backpacking quick enough. And then the cost, I do not like extra costs, but you did a good thing and convinced me. I was worried about that. Those were my personal concerns. Did you have any for yourself?
No, I don't think your physical ability concerned me at all. But if you feel like you're holding people back at all, that will take the motivation right out of your sail. So that is probably something that you still have.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
But one of the things that we like about backpacking is it's something that we share together as a couple. We're able to do it relatively simply, and we get a chance to get out there just together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Inexperience a little bit. I think about being the man, and this probably isn't politically correct to say, but you think the man protects you, make sure he knows everything, he knows how to work, start a fire.
I thought you already knew all that. You've had me completely fooled. I was up there just like, we haven't have to learn anything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I definitely
you had
think
me fooled.
Inexperience, but that's kind of another thing about this channel. We're hoping to be able to learn from other people, because we've only been backpacking for, 5 years? It'll be 5 years next year.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know a whole lot. And so you're going to see some mistakes, and you're going to learn from those, just like we learned from those mistakes. So I think that was a concern of mine. Not a huge concern, but definitely a concern. So what do you like about it?
I think for me, I like that we have the time together just to relax and chill. The first backpack trip we did here in the Pacific Northwest, he'd come off of a big project and was constantly on his phone. And I'm like, if we could just get somewhere where there was no cell coverage. So we did, and it was fantastic. And it was awesome.
Yeah, very good. We've tried to take up other sports and things together.
Tennis.
to tennis, yeah, to give us some time
Knitting.
together. Knitting.
Puzzles.
We
We have very different interests, very but this is where they cross over.
This is where it crosses over, and it draws us together. It's something that we can share. So I think that if other couples are out there, this is definitely something that can pull you guys together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our objective with this channel, one, we want to just take you on our adventures, and we want to learn from those adventures, learn from others, and then share with you what we've learned. We have gear reviews planned because we think that is important. I learned a whole lot from other people's gear reviews. So yeah, that's it. We want to inspire, learn, share.
Sounds good. Hope you can stick around.
That's Corey and Lori.
We don't know how boring this is going to be,
We don't
so
know.
feel free to comment. Keep it nice.
Tell us.
Just, yeah.
And if we didn't bore you to tears, like if you're not crying right now, hit subscribe.